In the suburbs of most Australian homes, it's not unusual, you know, to own a cat or a dog, or maybe even both. And if you feel the need for more animals in your life, you take a trip to the zoo. Well, in Canberra, one family has turned this theory on its head. Our report is from James Thomas.
Well, from out here, I don't think this house looks too different to any other abode in the suburbs of Canberra. However, I am assured that within this house lies a very interesting surprise.
G'day, James.
How's it going?
James.
Thanks. Yeah, nice to meet you. So this is the house?
This is it. Come on, I'll show you some of the features of the home. It's not so much the house itself, it's more our house guests. We have some unusual house guests in here that we're very lucky to have with us.
Yeah.
Richard Tindale is the proud owner of a very impressive aquarium set smack bang in the middle of his lounge room. But it gets better. As well as rock walls and a safari-style roof, the TV room has one feature which is bound to have you looking over your shoulder.
This is Darky, she's one of the females. We've got 3 European brown bears.
You may be wondering how on earth a family can have access to such wonderful creatures. How did they get a barbecue area complete with leopards, tigers and bears? And that massive fish tank, just how did it get there? The answer lies behind this door.
As you can see, the house is actually part of the zoo. And what we're looking at now is the other side of the shark tank. This is,
wow.
The public see exactly what we see, but at a slightly different time.
When Canberra's National Aquarium closed down, Richard and his family took over and turned it into the first combined zoo and aquarium in Australia.
It is a zoo. The house is only an aside to it. The place operates essentially as an education facility, not just for kids. We get a lot of school children from New South Wales. The basic concept of the place is to get people in, get them to read our signs, learn a little bit about conservation issues, and get to understand what's happening in our world through habitat loss and poaching, and just hope that the next generation will take a slightly better care of the planet than we have.
While Richard's primary goal is to operate a successful zoo, his wife Maureen admits living on site certainly does have its benefits.
It's special, you know, it really is, and when you can get up and before you have breakfast you go out and say hello to the snow leopards, and that's the great part about it.
On my suggestion that the Tindale's house would have to be the most popular barbecue destination in Canberra, Richard and Maureen's grandson, Sam, insists nothing has changed.
Are you the most popular kid at school at the moment, Sam?
Yeah, I was before we moved out of the zoo.
Slightly more candid, Richard's son and keeper of the big cats, Ryan Tindale, appreciates the novelty of his current abode.
Very good topic of conversation to talk about at a bar. Have a beer, where do you live? At the zoo. So it's always a conversation starter, and it can go from there.
The Tindales comply with strict guidelines to live as on-site caretakers, but Richard admits that hasn't stopped him from having a few anxious thoughts.
Up in our bedroom, one of the doors going out of it happens to lead to the top of the shark tank, and it was always a bit of a worry that one morning I might go through, or in the middle of the night I might go through the wrong door and end up in the shark tank.
Well, it's not just teddy bears that you wake up to in this bedroom. Take a look at this. Imagine getting up in the morning to arise to the real bears. They're just sitting out there doing their thing. That's amazing. And also, have a look at this. This is one hell of a fish tank. Take a look at that. A massive Murray cod.
As well as the real thing, the Tindale's house is chock-a-block full of animal bric-a-brac, from giraffes on cushions to jungle screensavers. This family truly does belong in the zoo.
I've always had an interest in animals, and I've always wanted to make some contribution, and I felt that we could make a contribution through doing this, and also have a great time at the same time.
Oh yes please,
Oh,
how
yes,
much
please.
would we like that?
Well, you want it?
Yes.
Do you know, actually, on a serious note, they nearly lost it in the fires in Canberra. They had a real battle to save the animals in the zoo.
That's it. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad that they did save them. That is just a wonderful way
Sort of
to live.
get up in the morning, big stretch, open the curtains.
Look at the
There's
bear.
a bear.
Wonderful. Hog heaven I would be in. Anyway, there you go. Some people
Dream
get it
on.
and some people don't.